The alley was always noisy. Baekdan had grown used to it, the rhythm of the red light district, where men came to buy illusions and women sold fragments of themselves to survive. For her, the alley was not a place of indulgence but of suffocation. She stood behind her small stall, the steam of boiling broth fogging the cold air. The smell of soy and noodles clung to her hair and clothes, masking the stench of smoke from the brothels nearby. A bowl of udon cost 3,500 won, and she had to sell dozens each night just to cover the interest on the debt her mother had left behind. A debt that had followed her since childhood, coiling around her like a chain she could never break free from. Someday, she whispered to herself, someday, I'll leave this place. Fate, however, had a way of testing her spirit. One evening, as she was making her rounds, she noticed a man across the street, tall, sharp-eyed, and surrounded by an air of quiet authority. He flicked his cigarette carelessly, the burning stub flying through the air before landing dangerously close to her feet. Annoyed, Baekdan looked up and met his gaze. "Be careful," she said firmly. "If you want to throw it away, at least use the dustbin." It wasn't the kind of tone she normally used with men. Without a word, she turned and walked off. This one, he just stared at her, a flicker of surprise, maybe even amusement, crossing his expression. The same evening, Musin came to the udon store, and both he and Baekdan were caught off guard by the unexpected encounter. With a mocking tone, he asked her if she would be fine having a physical relationship with him. Baekdan was flustered and upset by the remark. Just then, his subordinates entered the store, filling the space and breaking the tension. Musin quietly took his seat and began eating. To Baekdan's surprise, he genuinely enjoyed the udon, finishing his bowl quickly and ordering another. His subordinates left the shop, but Musin lingered behind. Looking at her directly, he asked calmly, "Do you prefer cash or card?" He paid, then stood up to leave. Pausing at the door, he gave her a faint glance and said, "I'll see you next time," before walking away, leaving Baekdan unsettled and confused by his behavior. The next day, Baekdan went to pay off the debt that had weighed on her for years. She stood at the collector's door, knocking and pulling at the handle, but it was locked tight. She sat down nearby and waited for hours. When the collector finally arrived, stood up and demanded, "I'm here with all the money. Why won't you take it? If you pay it, it's over. But if I don't take it, the interest keeps piling up. That means more money for me." Baekdan's chest tightened with rage and helplessness. She had worked tirelessly for this moment, dreaming of freedom, yet the system was rigged against her. Her hands trembled as she realized that no matter how hard she tried, the world around her was determined to keep her trapped. That day everything collapsed on Baekdan, the debt collector's refusal, the weight of her struggles, and the guy who supposedly liked her, his cutting words. Broken and exhausted, she sank to the ground in tears. Just then, a handkerchief appeared in front of her. Looking up, she saw Musin again, his eyes softer this time as he said quietly, "I came because I missed you."